Hey you guys, this is McFaddy. This is first time video blog, whatever you want to call it. And it's probably going to be one of many. You know, I got a couple friends of mine that are wanting to get into truck driving. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm in the truck. And you know, one of the things that most of these new drivers are hearing and looking at, and it's these companies that are saying, hey, Joe Mo, come drive for us. We can put you through school. You give us 1 or 2 years, whatever the contract may be. Excuse me. You know, make some good money. We can guarantee home time. We'll make sure you're home for whatever reason you need to get. And you know, it's a good sales pitch. It really is. But the problem with that is, it's not necessarily true. I have many, many years out here. I have 16, almost 17 years out already. And I still see the big companies doing the driver push, you know, driver shortage, driver shortage, driver shortage. If you are a person that is really interested in becoming a driver, that's great. More power to you. But if you're coming out here just for the money, and it's like, okay, what am I going to do? I got a wife, kids, whatever at home. This isn't the place to come unless your wife can really handle it by herself. Because most companies, you're not going to be home every night as a new driver. It's not going to happen. I hate to burst your bubble. They may say, hey, we can make sure you're home every day. It's not true. Unless you can get it in, black in, white in writing. And, you know, it's a true contract. I'm not saying it can't happen. Just that's not something that will happen. The other thing is, they like to tell you stuff that get you in the truck, and then when you're in the truck and you go, hey, you know, it's Friday, I've been in the truck for 4 days, I want to go home, and they're going to go, sorry driver, you need to at least give us 2 weeks out in advance or 3 weeks, unbeknownst to you. I've had a couple of companies do that to me. I had one company that said, hey, we want you to come drive for us. We'll let you go home every weekend. Sweet, that's what I was looking for. Be gone Monday through Friday, be home Saturday and Sunday, spend time with my family. That worked for about 3 months. And then they called me in the office and go, McFaddy, we'd like you to do 2 weeks at a time. Alright, whatever. I let my girlfriend know. She was happy about it. Hey, I can't control the company. That's what they want. So I do this for about 2 months. You know, they said, oh, you can make better money being out 2 weeks at a time. I was babysitting the truck at a truck stop on the weekends. They'll never give me loads to keep me moving during the weekend. You know, the other thing is, you know, they came back to me a month and a half later and go, hey, McFaddy, we want you to do 3 weeks at a time. No. If I wanted to be gone like that, I'll be working for a mega carrier, in which this company that was working for, I'm a flatbedder. They're no longer in business. They sold out. They tried to restructure. They're a smaller company now under a different pseudonym. I found a lot of small companies treat you a lot better. The company that I drive for now, there's three of us. I'm home every weekend. I'm home Friday afternoon, leave out Monday morning. I can't complain about the company. The only downfall is, yeah, I'm paid every 2 weeks. Instead of being paid by the mile, I'm paid by a percentage. And some weeks that's good, some weeks that's bad. I could make more if I was with a mega carrier out for 2, 3, 4 weeks out at a time, but I'd never see my kids or my wife. You have to take what the good and the bad. You have to weigh the good and the evil out when you're looking at a job. I would say before going for a commercial driving job, before you say, hey, I want to become this truck driver, here's a couple questions that you should be asking yourself. First, can you sit in a vehicle for at least 7 hours without stopping? Because a lot of these bigger companies, if you stop before it's time for you to take your 30-minute break, they're going to be giving you a message on the Qualcomm phone, whatever your e-log is on, and asking you, why are you stopping? A lot of these big companies will micromanage you that bad. Second, you're going to have to learn how to spend money out here. You're going to be seeing these big paychecks, $9,000, $1,100 a week paychecks. And you're going to be, hey, I'm making some great money. I can do this, that, and whatever. When you feast, you feast. When you fabbing, you're going to be fabbing. My recommendation is get yourself a cooler, a 12-volt power cooler where you can put lunch meat, cheese, whatever in that cooler while you're on the road. There are some Walmarts still that you can get in and park if you work for a mega company. Those would be Schneider, JB's, Warner, Swifts. You would know who the mega companies are. They would have a company car where you go to the local grocery store, go get some food in the truck. It's cheaper if you eat in the truck. My company that I drive for, I can have a refrigerator in the truck. I have a power inverter in the truck. And, I'm able to cook in the truck. I go to Walmart before I leave the house with the wife. I'll go buy, enough food for the week. And I eat out of the truck for the week. That doesn't mean that, I may stop at Taco Bell or Wendy's or something like that once a week, get me something, quick and easy, and, go from there. When you deal with these mega companies, you have to figure out ways to squeeze in, time to do laundry, time to clean the truck. There's going to be so much stuff that the companies are going to try to have you do. And just remember this. You are the captain of your truck or captain of your ship. They are not. If you are just getting into trucking and they want you to push it and you can't handle that yet, don't do it. There's no load out there that's worth your life. And I have said that a number of times to a number of dispatchers. So, my suggestion is stop, talk to drivers, and ask them their opinion. If you know someone that runs, let's say they're doing dispatching out of their house, which there's a lot of people that does dispatching, or brokering loads out of the house, they're going to paint a picture of what it's like to be in the truck and how glorious it is. And, they're not going to tell you that, hey, McFaddy, I got this load for you. But, hey, it canceled. So you're going to have to wait till tomorrow to find a load for you before I can dispatch you on it. Even though you just started your clock an hour and a half ago because you've been in the shop all day and now here you are sitting. That's going to happen. Brokers and dispatchers like to paint a picture that isn't necessarily true. Why? Because they don't normally have a CDL to begin with. And second, they haven't been in a truck. Now, there are some of those rare people, unicorns, that have been in a truck and went from the truck to dispatching or brokering because they want to be home and they want to get out of the truck. So they went to the next step up and became a dispatcher or a broker. It happens. I've seen it when I was with Schneider. Yes, I was with Schneider for a while. I'm not I'm not going to deny it. There was a couple of drivers that became dispatchers there. And you could definitely tell that they were trained by Schneider on how to try to push drivers to go places that they did not feel comfortable going. Some people like running the East Coast, some people like running the West Coast, some people like, going into Canada, some people don't. Whatever your preference is. All drivers have it. What you should do is go up to a driver and go, hey, driver. And you can go to a driver and say that to them. They're not going to get mad at you. And go, hey, driver, I got a couple questions for you. I'm thinking about becoming a truck driver. Can you tell me about some of your experiences, and is it really worth me doing it? With that said, I'm not against people starting a career in truck driving. I've done it for 16 years now. I'm going on 17 here at the end of this year. Do I regret doing it? No. I've seen a lot, did a lot. I've been in all 48 states. I've been in 2 provinces in Canada. Do I regret it? In some ways, yes, because, I spent my early 20s in a truck where most people are running around partying, having fun, doing whatever. But it also got me to the point where I'm not in jail, been arrested, or have a criminal record. And, who knows? At the rate that I was going, it could have happened. I think for a new driver, talking to 5, 6, 7 different drivers, that it would be the best way for you to figure out if this is what you want. And if you do decide to get in a truck, my suggestion is go on the websites, punch in, training companies that will train you. Before you submit to them, go through and look at the comments of, the truck driving school or what company, and just read the comments on what other drivers have to say. There are going to be some that is obvious there by the company, as drivers. And then there's going to be some disgruntled drivers. You're going to have good and bad with wherever you're at. It's always going to happen. But you make the decision on all the comments. Go, okay, this person saying that they don't get you home on time, it's always late. If you see that a lot, that means it's common practice. If you see, hey, I have a great dispatch, they get me home on time, I have no complaints, I would recommend, and you see that a lot, that's the company you want to go to. Just because they're paying you, let's say, 50 cents a mile, doesn't mean you're going to get enough miles to make a decent paycheck. Reality is, for a new driver, you're looking at between 25 and 34 or 36 cents a mile now. It's not great, but it's, you can make a good enough paycheck to pay your bills, take care of what you got to. This isn't the job that it was back 20, 30 years ago. And can it change? Will it change? Trucking is always changing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. If you try to find someone that's been driving for 40 years, they say it's for the bad. Some may say it's good. You can run into people that's been doing this for 3 to 5 years, and they say, hey, this is the best job ever. Well, that's because they have hey, I'm a truck driver, I like what I'm doing, I'm happy what I'm doing, hey, that's great. Whatever makes you happy as a driver. If you're doing this for a paycheck, for the money, because you're in desperate need, yes, you can do it. But you're not going to be happy. You're going to be miserable. And you're going to be trying to leave as quick as you can. If you're coming because you want to do the job and think you're going to enjoy the job, and you want to travel and being paid for the traveling is a bonus, hey, that's great. So, take your time. Think about what companies. Think about what schooling. Think about the downtime that we sit, and we do sit a fair amount, more than others. And talk to drivers. If you live by a pilot, Flying J, Loves, TA, Petro, any major truck stop, and you see some truckers walking out to their trucks or, at the fuel island, and you're really seriously thinking about this, go up to them. Talk to them. They'll be more than happy to talk to you most of the time. There are some drivers that are just grumpy old farts that, they're never happy and they don't want to talk to anybody. You're going to find that. But most of us drivers, you ask us about our opinion if, the driving community is worth it and it's, doing the job is actually worth it, do it. If not, I recommend trying to find something else. There are a lot of jobs out there. There are a lot of people that like to do this job. If you're set on it, do it. If you have an inkling that doing this job maybe scary or intimidate you, it's not worth it unless you can get over your fears. And the other thing that I would highly recommend, because I do live where there's a lot of snow, the best time to learn how to drive a commercial vehicle is in the wintertime. My opinion is do not do it during the summertime because you are in normally dry conditions and wet road conditions. If you really want to learn how to drive and be prepared for it, do it during the wintertime. That way, you have ice roads, snow-covered roads, wet roads. You have all of them. And you can learn on how to predict the truck and the trailer and how it handles. So, if you go during the wintertime, that's the best time to learn, in my opinion, because you will learn on all conditions. Because you'll go from the north of the U.S. down to the south of the U.S. You could be in Chicago one day in a snowstorm. The next day you could be in Dallas, Texas. Or you could be, excuse me, you could be up there in Maine, picking up a load, and 2 days later you're in Georgia, where it's 60 degrees or 50 degrees and it's all dry. So at that point, you get all weather conditions in the wintertime. Blizzards, rain. If you go out west where you got a chain, depending on your instructor, you may chain up the truck, you may not. I haven't thrown a set of chains in my driving career. Only time that I put chains on was at a yard in Wisconsin so I can move 3 trailers because I couldn't get any traction because the ice was so bad. So, if this video has got any information, gave you any good information, let me know. If it didn't, or if anything that I said you don't agree with, hey, let me know. We're all human. We have all our own opinions. My opinion is, take your time. Don't jump into it willy-nilly, thinking that this is for me. Take your time, driver. Take your time. And any drivers that are watching this, if you agree with me, hey, let me know. If you want to like it, like it. If not, I don't care. As a driver, as a person with way too much time on my hands, it is what it is. I don't get offended easily. So, you guys have a good day. Please double check, triple check where you're going to go and talk to drivers that are working for the company that you may want to go and ask them questions. That's the best way to do it. So this is McFaddy. Talk to you later.